We have a new moon in Scorpio and a Mercury Cazimi in Scorpio today, and I know that our instinct is to look for the next transit that's happening, but I'm going to ask you to just stay with me here for a few minutes today. This new moon and this Mercury Cazimi, they're big. There are big breakthroughs coming. I've done a video about this more in depth, and today I just want to talk about one aspect that a lot of you guys resonated with deeply, which is money. This new moon and the Cazimi sit in gate 16, the gate of power skills. It's the frequency of right use of power, the right use of will, how we generate abundance and prosperity through integrity, devotion, and creative alignment. And with this energy of this new moon and Mercury Cazimi opposing Uranus, there are breakthroughs that are trying to come through if only we can listen. We can get quiet enough to listen to what wants to come through us. Because ultimately, what's coming through is clarity and creativity and confidence. And what we are being asked to do is take action, use our energy in the right use of our will, of our life force energy. This gate sits in the sacral in human design. Human design is a system that incorporates astrology, and it just breaks up the signs into these things called gates. So it's a little bit smaller portions of the sky. And so this one's in Scorpio, yes, but it's in this specific part in the sacral center, which is our life force energy. And in my last video, we talked about how when we tap into our creative force, the prosperity is endless. The abundance is endless. So many of us, Venus represents value. And a lot of times we think about that value as money because money is a very popular way of exchange and there's a lot of power in money. And so, in the spiritual world, especially, there's a lot of shadows around money. I talked about that. It's often a mix of like loving money and wanting it and also like simultaneously hating it. And that's when when you have those weird energies, if it's like, oh, it just doesn't matter, or like, oh, I wish I could just manifest $1 million. Those are very intense energies. And I'll tell you that, yeah, I mean, this is not going to be my in-depth video on money. A lot of you guys asked for more videos on money, and I might make it a series like my illness as initiation videos because it is something that I'm very passionate about and something that I've had a lot of conditioning about. But for today, I just want to touch on how this right use of energy is coming through so strongly because Mars is in a part of the sky that is about rhythm. And the Mercury retrograde rewire theme that I chose for this Mercury retrograde that we're currently in was reclaiming your rhythm. And I'm doing a workshop on December 6th called Co-Creating the Cosmos, where I show you the parts of your astrology and human design that show you your alignment and how that attunes to the alignment of the cosmos and how to use transits and, of course, somatics, because that's how we really integrate and reconnect to find our rhythm along with the cosmos, not trying to control them, but also not letting them kind of take us where they want to take us. Because ultimately, yes, you may get lucky sometimes and something just like lands in your lap, but I want to read this passage from The Artist's Way. And this is an amazing book that I've revisited often. And in my Co-Creating the Cosmos workshop, if you join before December 6th, so even if you can't make it live, but you join and you get the replay before December 6th, I'm offering a exclusive offer for my immersion. It's called the Inner Revolution Immersion, happening in January. And that is going to integrate some of the things from The Artist's Way because this book is so, so helpful for helping us get back into creative alignment. And I want to read what she says about kind of the themes that I'm talking about, because in my last video, I talked about how Mars is squaring the nodes and we're being asked to take action and to have courage to feel the discomfort of any of the breakthroughs that are coming up, the truths that we have to face about how we've kept ourselves stuck, right? There was a lot of negative patterning that's being exposed through Scorpio season, But let's just read what Julia Cameron has to say about taking action. And really, this to me is about co-creating with the cosmos. She says, most of us never consider how powerful the creator really is. Instead, we draw very limited amounts of the power available to us. We decide how powerful God or the universe is for us. We unconsciously set a limit on how much God can help us or give us. We are stingy with ourselves. And if we receive a gift beyond our imagining, we often send it back. And we often do that very unconsciously, right? I think one of the patterns I see the most often is that we have a problem with receiving, and we have a very limited vision on what it is that we want to receive, and therefore we don't see all the other ways that the universe is trying to give to us, because we're like, I want it this way. I want it in money. I want it in this house. I want it in this. And it's like, how do we maintain focus, but also periodically expand our vision to make sure, our peripheral vision to make sure, like, is there something else that's trying to come to me, right? This is a balance. It's a constant balance. She says, some of you may be thinking this sounds like a magic wand. I pray and presto. Sometimes that is how it will feel. More often, what we are talking about seems to be a conscious partnership in which we work along slowly and gradually, clearing away the wreckage of our negative patterning, clarifying the vision of what it is we want, learning to accept small pieces of that vision from whatever source, and then one day, presto, the vision seems to suddenly be in place. In other words, pray to catch the bus, then run as fast as you can. So good. And this is pretty much a huge theme in my workshop on December 6th. So if you're interested in that, I will have the link down below in the description and in the comments. People on my mailing list and Substack were the first to receive access to this. Early bird is open until a certain amount sell, and then it will go up. So join my mailing list and my Substack in order to be the first to know about that. Yes. So pray to catch the bus, then run as fast as you can. This Cazimi is about clarity and confidence and creativity. The obstacle is the breakthrough is going to probably feel like a lot. We're going to have to support our nervous system through that. But also, we are being asked to move. Now, right now in the sky, Venus and Uranus in human design are coming together to create a very, very creative channel. There's an invitation to let our creative essence be the power. The world is ready to receive what only you can express. And the only way to know what that is to reclaim parts of ourselves. Ask yourself, and this keeps coming up, but it's just so prevalent in November specifically. And this is what all that retrograde energy is about. It's about retrieval. It's about revising. It's revisiting. And so a lot of people don't want to take action during retrogrades, but here's the thing, you can always revise. Right? That was one of the things with my Reclaiming Rhythm Mercury retrograde. I said, I'm going to walk the talk and I'm going to release my my workshop during Mercury retrograde, which is technically a no-no, right? Like, don't start anything new. And it's like, well, this is when I want to do it though. So how would the universe punish me for trying to offer my value and creative essence into the world? Why would it do that? Maybe my expectations are too focused. Right? Maybe I'm not willing to receive, and maybe I'm looking at it from the lens of, okay, well, if I want this workshop to go this way. And the universe is trying to say, hey, maybe the workshop needs to go a different way. And that's okay. And that's what this retrograde is for. It's like when we release expectations to the outcome and we get so deep in the process, this is what gate 14 is about. The prosperity that comes when you follow those creative breadcrumbs, when you allow the return of a creative spark that was lost a long time ago because you had to choose safety, right? So once again, taking action without neglecting the body. And this is something that comes up a lot in our sessions, you know, in my sessions, that when I work with people, like, how do we move through the discomfort? Like I said in my last video, to find the freedom. Because our comfort zones are comfortable, but sometimes they keep us stuck, right? This is Mars squaring the nose. It's saying, like, will you choose what's uncomfortable, the North Node, over what you've known, the South Node? And it's a little bit more nuanced than that, but we'll just say that for right now. Because honestly, your creativity is the key to your prosperity. I'm telling you this from lived experience. I'm not just some person saying it because I read it. I'm telling you, like, I struggled so much with money and like a number in my head because I my life was deeply uncreatively fulfilled. You know, there was such a creative constipation. And when I got into that flow, I literally had to sit myself down to look at the money because, you know, at some point you got to do that. But I was like, that's not even where my mind was at. I was like in the flow of creativity, wanting to offer value into the world. Oh, this idea is so cool. Let me try this. Let me try this. What would happen if I did this? And, you know, how can I bring more value? How can I bring more value? How can I bring more value? It's less about the reason why money is becoming the focus of the thoughts is because we think that's our way out. And once again, I have a very like a story that really changed my idea about this, which I'll talk about later. But when people tell me like, oh, but Jazz, like, you know, I don't even know what my creative spark is. Yes, it's been a long time that you've been disconnected. So asking yourself the questions I've been posing, like, what did I used to love? What do I want to do right now? If no one judged me, what would I do right now? What would I want to do? You know, because your inconsistency is because you're disconnected from your creative spark. And so you're looking to the cosmos to tell you when to move. That's not how it works. That's going to keep you stuck. And like Julia Cameron said, like sometimes it may feel like, oh my God, the cosmos just came around. And then you'll say, oh, well, then that means I can just sit and back and not have to take responsibility. But the truth is that things only change when you realize that your only responsibility is you. That is your responsibility. And if you're not taking radical responsibility over that, then your life is not going to feel good, right? So this takes courage. It takes a lot of courage. I know that, but I just want to finish this off with an outcome card. You know, if we can have the truth or the courage to listen and act, right? Tuning in and listening, this Mercury Cazimi is retrograde. This energy, this breakthrough may come through in a moment of silence. And we can help that process. We can create the causes and conditions for this to come through by sitting in quiet consciously. And not doing it to quiet the mind, but doing it to connect and listen to whatever wants to come through. And listen, I know you're tired. Scorpio season has been intense. This year is intense. This is a 9-year. We're closing major cycles. You've done a lot of work. I know you've healed so much. I know. The burden will lessen when you stop taking responsibility for all of the things that are not yours, other people's expectations, other people's desires. And that's a process, right? That's a process. I don't expect it to happen overnight, but you can start taking action today to find more fulfillment in your life and return to the creative spark that is there. It's just waiting for you to see it. It's just waiting for you to reclaim it. All right, one outcome card. And if we do this, we have the courage. What is the outcome here? Nine of Pentacles. Abundance, self-care, responsibility, sustenance. Look at her. Does she look like she's worried about things? Does she look like she is thinking, oh, well, how am I going to make my money? Or does she look like she's in a luxurious robe, looking at what she has and relishing in it? I don't know. You tell me. Attuning with a bird, attuning with nature, recognizing abundance comes in so many forms. Abundance is waiting for you to take control and to use the right use of power, the right use of our skills. Pluto reminds us that wealth and prosperity comes from the underworld of our own transformation. And Venus and Uranus right now in this position, making this channel, is saying that that transformation is a return to our creative essence. There is something that you are here to do, that you are here to express. And the only way you're going to know what that thing is by trying it, taking an action, moving differently, not moving the same way that you always have, trying something new. And the outcome is feeling wealthy and recognizing, and I promise you that when you get to that state, the amount, it becomes way less like, do I have enough money? It's more like, can I offer my gifts? Do I have what I need to offer more value? Do I have what I need to express that thing that I'm here to express to the world? If you want to join me for my workshop, I would love to have you there. We talk about these themes more in depth. We'll do Q&A, and then we'll move into a couple of live demos so you can see this with other people's charts as well, how we are in dialogue with the cosmos, and it's an equal partnership. Happy new moon, happy Mercury Cazimi, opposite Uranus. Let these insights return you to your creative spark. You are ready to create again. I'll see you next time.